When you decide to stop chasing a woman, you're not just making a simple decision. You're triggering an emotional chain reaction that can shake her entire world. What may seem like a step back for you becomes a storm of thoughts and feelings for her that you never would have imagined. From the initial shock to the most profound decisions, each stage reveals hidden truths about her desires, emotions, and what the relationship truly meant to both of you. Imagine this. One day, she's used to your constant attention, your messages, your calls, and the next day, all of that disappears. What goes through her mind? How does she truly feel when you're no longer there? This emotional journey is like a roller coaster, from deep reflection to wounded pride, and ultimately a reevaluation of what she really wants in her life. I invite you to stay with me as we explore each of these 7 stages in depth. Understanding how a woman thinks and feels when you stop pursuing her will give you a new perspective, not only about her, but also about yourself and your own decisions. Here are the 7 stages a woman goes through when you stop pursuing her. 1. Initial surprise. The first reaction she experiences is surprise, an overwhelming sense of confusion. She was used to receiving your daily attention, your messages, calls, gestures, and suddenly, all of that vanishes. For her, it's like a switch was flipped without warning. She begins to wonder, what happened? Did she do something wrong? Or perhaps she wonders if you lost interest. In this phase of surprise, she starts to value your presence in a way she hadn't before. Absence has a powerful way of putting things into perspective, and that's exactly what happens here. She begins comparing how you treated her with how others do, and realizes that no one gave her the same attention you did. The little things, those messages asking how she was, the shared jokes, the words of encouragement now take on a new significance. What she may have overlooked before now stands out in her memory. This initial surprise is just the beginning, but it sparks a deeper process of self-analysis. Here, she starts to realize that your presence in her life was more important than she thought. 2. Deep reflection. After the surprise comes a period of deep reflection. This is when her mind begins processing what has happened. She analyzes every interaction, every conversation, every gesture. She questions if there was something she missed, if there were signs she didn't pick up on, or crucial moments she overlooked. In this introspective state, she may start remembering the special moments you shared. Those moments that perhaps didn't hold much weight before, now resurface with new meaning. She begins to understand that the connection you had wasn't just ordinary, that there was something unique between you. This is a key moment, because in the midst of this reflection, she may realize the importance you had in her life. She doesn't just reconsider her own behavior, but also evaluates what she really wants in a relationship. She wonders if she acted too lightly or missed out on something valuable. Here, the memory of your presence begins to weigh more than she anticipated. 3. Wounded pride. After reflection, pride may come into play. No one likes to feel rejected, and when you stop pursuing her, it's easy for her to interpret your lack of attention as rejection. This feeling can wound her ego, even though she might try to act as if she doesn't care and that everything is fine. Inside, she may be dealing with an emotional struggle between her pride and her true feelings. At this stage, she may adopt a defensive posture. She tries to protect her ego and might act like your absence doesn't affect her, possibly becoming more distant or indifferent. But the truth is, this behavior is a facade to hide what she's really feeling: confusion and fear of having been rejected. Here, she's at a crossroads. She may choose to move on without you, using her pride as a barrier, or she may admit, even if only to herself, that she misses you, and that your absence has left a void. This is a turning point, where pride can either be an obstacle or a catalyst for change. 4. Mixed emotions. As pride and reflection blend together, she enters a stage of mixed emotions. This is where she finds herself in conflict. One day she may feel relief from no longer having the pressure of your attention, and the next, she feels an undeniable emptiness. It's an emotionally exhausting stage where one day she feels fine, and the next, lost. On the one hand, she might think she's better off without the constant attention and feels she needs to focus on herself. But at the same time, she can't ignore the feeling that something is missing. She's torn between moving on and reconsidering her stance towards you. It's a whirlwind of emotions that leaves her confused, yet also revealing, because it allows her to begin understanding what she truly feels for you. This internal conflict is essential. In the midst of the confusion, she starts to realize that your absence isn't something she can easily overlook. She begins to see more clearly what your presence truly means to her and just how important you were in her life. 5. Late appreciation. As the emotional storm begins to calm, she reaches a stage of late appreciation. Now she begins to truly value everything you did for her. The small things that once went unnoticed, the little details, the time you dedicated to her, the gestures of affection, now take on new meaning. This late appreciation can be painful because she realizes that she may have lost something very valuable. She realizes that perhaps she didn't appreciate your effort enough when you were there. Now that you've stopped pursuing her, she starts to understand that what you did for her wasn't just ordinary. She realizes that your gestures, your attention, and your affection weren't things to take for granted. It's a difficult stage for her, as this awakening may bring feelings of regret. However, this phase also marks a crucial moment of emotional maturity. She begins to understand what she truly wants and needs in a relationship.
6. Resignation or rediscovery. At this stage, she faces a crossroad, resignation or rediscovery. If she opts for resignation, she accepts that things have changed, and it's time to move on without you. She begins looking for ways to overcome your absence and rebuild her life. This path leads her to learn from the experience and move forward. But if she chooses rediscovery, she seeks to reconnect with you in a more authentic way. Here she might approach you again, but with a new perspective, more willing to work on whatever is necessary to rebuild the relationship. There might be greater openness and a readiness to commit in a more mature and conscious way. This crossroad is decisive, as her choice will determine the future of your relationship. Both paths are valid, but each one offers a different route of personal and emotional growth for her. 7. Decision-making. Finally, after going through all these stages, she reaches the point of decision-making. This is the pivotal moment, the point where she decides what to do. She may choose to move on without you, having learned valuable lessons about herself and what she wants in a relationship, or she may decide that she wants to reconnect with you, but this time with a deeper understanding of what both of you need. This decision is not easy, as it's the result of an intense and transformative emotional process. But regardless of what she chooses, this journey has changed her. She is now more aware of her own feelings and of what she truly values in a relationship. These 7 stages not only reveal what a woman experiences when you stop pursuing her, but also show her ability to grow and change throughout the process. I hope this analysis has helped you understand these emotional dynamics better. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Check out the recommended videos on the screen to continue learning. See you next time.